Hello and welcome back to the Rekt Capital channel, and welcome to today's video about Bitcoin and the market leaders. Bitcoin recently broke 7,250, and this is of course a massive development in price because not only did it break past that level, right over here, a level of resistance for 6 straight weeks, a level of resistance that saw Bitcoin reject from here for 6 straight weeks. It's finally a level that has been broken past not only on the daily but on the weekly, on a higher time frame, and this has tremendous price ramifications because 7,250 was a resistance, but now we need to look for it as a support. This weekly close above this level is a fantastic development for price, and of course, as you guys know, I was bearish on Bitcoin as long as Bitcoin was below 7,250, and a correction was very much on the cards as long as Bitcoin were to remain under that level. There wasn't much rejection from that level in the past few weeks, but what we need to bear in mind now is that we now need to look for this level to become a support, because now that we've seen a weekly close above this level, now we can shift our bias, because below resistance, below 7,250, it was natural to think about Bitcoin through a bearish lens. It was the sensible approach, because longing into resistance is never a good idea, but now it looks like we've got that confirmation, or at least the first part of a very important confirmation in the form of a weekly candle close above here, and whether we see a pullback towards 7,250 in the short term remains to be seen, but that would be a second confirmation that we need to see from Bitcoin for Bitcoin to continue being bullish as it approaches the halving, and the halving is only 2 weeks away, which is fantastic because we've been speaking about the halving for the past few months. I published an article in September of 2019, and I've been speaking about the effect of the Bitcoin halving on Bitcoin's price extensively since then, and it's finally here. The Bitcoin halving is only 2 weeks away. It has tremendous price ramifications for Bitcoin, and while the dominant trend for Bitcoin's price going into the halving and even months after the halving is consolidation, we could see a bit of volatility as Bitcoin's price approaches the halving. But whatever Bitcoin's price history has taught us is that we can anticipate volatility around the halving, but it's important not to get shaken out, because this sort of movement and volatility, whatever retraces happen in that period, those are bear traps. They are designed to shake out investors who have weak hands. So it's important to just remain strong and hold strong, because we tend to see exponential movements towards the upside in the months that follow from the halving. So these are some key lessons to bear in mind. And it's fantastic to see that 7,250 has potentially turned into a support on the weekly time frame. It hasn't yet, but this is something we have to look out for. But the fact that we're above this level means that Bitcoin will now occupy the upper half of this macro triangle, which is fantastic news, because this macro triangle is very important to Bitcoin's price action, because a breakout from here is likely, but it's not going to be likely in the short term. It's exciting to think about this triangle breaking towards the upside soon, but that's probably not going to happen in the next few weeks or even months. What we need to focus on at the moment is the short term, and the short term is this price level. Everything stems from this price level, because as long as Bitcoin remains above this level, we're going to see movement towards even as high as 9,300. So we're probably going to see movement into this upper triangle, and that's something we need to look out for. We need to look out for intra-triangle movement rather than movement outside of the triangle, because of course we need to obviously watch out for that movement, but that's going to be a few weeks or even a few months later down the line. But this is a very key price development for Bitcoin. It's great that it's closed above 7,250. Now we just need to watch for it as a support, and of course, now that Bitcoin has done that, a return towards the green area or even the bottom half of this triangle is now less likely. It is going to be the gatekeeper towards lower price levels. So as long as Bitcoin remains above this level, we're not going to see lower price levels. That's just how it works. We need to take it level by level, and this level could potentially be a support going forward, which means that it's okay to be bullish on Bitcoin as it approaches the halving, because we could be seeing a bit of buying the hype and then selling the news, which could tie in with a further rally to as far as 9,300, followed by a rejection after the halving. But we need to not try and place these price movements in the context of time. It's very important to just focus on the technicals, that we could see a move that we could see a move that we could see a pullback towards here and then followed by a rally towards 9,300. But in any case, the weekly close above 7,250 is a massive development for price. It's okay to now shift bias to a more bullish stance for Bitcoin, especially as it holds this level as a support. And just to celebrate this weekly close, I am now giving away 5 $20 discounts to my cryptocurrency technical analysis course. And if you're interested in it, because so many people have been getting in touch with me in DMs on Twitter asking me whether there are going to be any discounts, so I just decided to make this giveaway. So if you are interested in making the most of this $20 discount to my TA course, visit the website, click I want this, use the discount code BULLISH to get $20 off, and of course first come first served. So feel free to make the most of this offer. It is a great time for Bitcoin right now, especially with the weekly or at least the monthly close just around the corner. Last month I covered the monthly close on Twitter and spoke about how this green area was important to hold as a demand zone, and in this month, during the month of April, we actually saw that this price level not only held but actually offered demand, prompting price movements towards the upside for Bitcoin. And of course, a monthly close above 7,250 would be spectacular, would be a fantastic bullish event for Bitcoin. And as you guys can see, 7,250 is really that key level. Whatever happens to Bitcoin, whether it's above 7,250, we can be bullish. Whether it's below it, we can be bearish. That's as simple as it gets. A monthly close above here would be fantastic news for Bitcoin and its uptrend to as far as 9,300. And this recent price development for Bitcoin means that we can start to think about altcoins a bit more, because now we're going to be approaching Q2, which means that altcoins are going to build themselves up for their next hype cycle. But what we tend to see near the end of April, we tend to see that hype towards altcoins starts to slow down, it starts to die off, which is an important time because this extreme fear towards altcoins precedes financial opportunity and a curl up in hype, but also in the prices of altcoins. And having said that, it's important to just know that not all altcoins are going to outperform the market. Some, of course, are going to be a little better off than others, such as, for instance, Tezos and Chainlink. These have been really good performers over the past few weeks, but now we might see other altcoins really do well. So it's important to watch out for those opportunities, because this hype cycle is going to be starting very, very soon, and it will extend as far as towards June or even the beginning of July. So that ties in with the end of Q2. So it's really an interesting time for altcoins going forward, because Bitcoin has made great strides and it is potentially paving the way for altcoin price movements, and it is tying in with this altcoin hype cycle. So altcoins could do well going forward, and this just ties in with altcoin dominance. We can see here that this dotted black diagonal is a resistance that we need to watch out for, and since altcoin dominance has broken out from its ascending triangle over here, it's pulled back many weeks after that initial breakout right over here, and it's been pulling back for weeks. A successful retest occurred over here, and now we're seeing trend continuation in altcoin dominance, and this black diagonal could be that level that altcoin dominance would visit, maybe even before the halving, but in any case as it approaches the halving and beyond. So this is the level that I'll be watching for, and of course a breakout past that level would be fantastic for altcoin dominance, but I don't know if we're there yet. But in any case, this sort of price predicament, or at least this predicament for this index, that is the altcoin dominance, it's great to see this tying in with Bitcoin's price predicament as well, but also with the fact that we are potentially on the cusp of a new altcoin hype cycle. So this is very positive, and it ties in with Ethereum's weekly candle close. This weekly candle close above the blue diagonal is a great development for price as well, because every time we've seen a wick past this blue diagonal right over here and right over here, we've seen rejection towards the downside, right? But every time we've seen a weekly candle close beyond this blue diagonal, we've seen tremendous deviations in price towards the upside, and it looks like Ethereum is paving the way, not only for itself to do well, but for other altcoins as well. Because as we know, with the money flow cycle starts with Bitcoin, which we know that Bitcoin has broken out recently. It then trickles down to altcoins like Ethereum and Litecoin. These are large caps, and then we tend to see money flow into other smaller altcoins. So we are seeing many things align right now. The stars are aligning for altcoins to do well, and at the moment, this weekly candle close for Ethereum is fantastic news on the macro scale. In the short term, of course, a pullback could happen, but these dips, as long as Ethereum maintains itself above the blue diagonal right over here, any dips for Ethereum going forward in the short term are a bullish development for price, a healthy retrace in an otherwise strong growth cycle. And it's great to see that DOGEcoin has also performed quite well over the past few weeks as well. This is an altcoin that I've been covering on my Twitter in a bit more detail. I was talking about how DOGEcoin, once it reached its higher low over here, it was going to experience another third cycle in the ascending triangle, and it's done that. It's 24% up since the higher low support rebound. It's been one of the best trades for the past few weeks with the best risk to reward ratio because it is consolidating within this ascending triangle. And I cannot express how bullish I am once DOGEcoin weekly closes above this ascending triangle top. We've seen wicks past here before, so it's important not to get caught out. It's important not to FOMO past this level before confirmation. I'm just going to wait for how DOGEcoin is going to react to this ascending triangle top in the short term. Of course, it weekly closed most recently, which doesn't bode well necessarily, because now we have 7 days until the next weekly close, and this could mean that DOGEcoin could easily reject from this ascending triangle top. So we need to see how DOGEcoin's price is going to react here for the next 7 days. But in any case, just for the long term, going forward, thinking about the months ahead that lie, we need to just bear in mind that a weekly close above this level would be fantastic news for altcoins in general, because altcoins and DOGEcoin tend to move at the same time. These green boxes over here just showcase how DOGEcoin tends to precede and even sometimes confirm entire altcoin hype cycles, because DOGEcoin is one of the most cyclical altcoins out there, and every time we see a cycle from DOGEcoin, it precedes altcoin seasons, and sometimes it precedes these seasons, and sometimes it just trend confirms these seasons. So this ascending triangle breakout is going to mark the dawn of yet another altcoin cycle for not only altcoins in general, but for DOGEcoin, of course. So I am watching for this ascending triangle. I don't know if it's going to happen in the short term, but in any case, going forward, this is something that's worth watching out for. But in any case, thank you so much guys for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider dropping a like, of course. And if you'd like to see me talk about altcoin hype cycles in the future, just leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to make that video, so let me know if you're interested. But in the meantime, I'm Rekt Capital. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Speak soon.